Well, it's not just gas prices that are reaching an all-time high. Milk prices up 18%. Price of eggs 40% higher than the same egg that you bought last year. But somehow or another, the cost of beef is dropping. Wow. How come? And how is that connected to Washington's obsession with ethanol? Wait until you hear the insanity in tonight's real story. It's coming. Let me just state it right here. It's not overstating to say that I think that corn-based ethanol is the worst idea since Stalin's 5-year plan. In fact, I'd go so far to say that if Iowa, my apologies Iowa, I love you and you know it, if Iowa weren't an important election state, the whole corn ethanol thing would have been trashed years ago. It's a stupid idea. Not only is corn ethanol wildly inefficient. I mean, it actually takes more energy to produce it than it ends up providing. Hello? But the real story is, well, you know what, actually, tonight, let me allow Mr. President to tell you the real story. I think he finally figured it out just last week.
Corn ethanol holds a lot of promise, but there's a lot of challenges. If you're a hog raiser in the United States, you're beginning to worry about the cost of corn to feed your animals. I'm beginning to hear complaints from our cattlemen about the high price of corn. The high price of corn is beginning to affect the price of food.
Yeah. I don't raise hogs, and I got that long time ago. Welcome to the party, Mr. President. I'm a recovering alcoholic rodeo clown, and even I knew that using America's farms to feed its cars would make our food cost more. Did you really need a call? Wait a minute, got a call from a rancher? Oh, no. Hey, hello. I can't believe sometimes I voted for this guy. Prices on everything from milk and eggs, vegetables, double digits. But beef prices, they're not up. Why is that? Well, think about how the market works. Some ranchers are now paying over twice as much for their corn feed as they were a few years ago for that ethanol that we can't find anywhere, at least in this city. Then they can't sell their cattle for twice as much, so they can't feed their cattle. What do? So instead of sinking their money into months of expensive corn feed, some ranchers are sending their cows to slaughter early. Others are selling their cows up the food chain for less money because the next farmer won't pay as much, knowing that the corn prices are going to kill his profits. Got it? So what do you think happens when all that excess beef is gone? Prices will skyrocket on beef. We'll be out of food and beef. That sounds perfect. Our farmers will suffer, and when that day finally comes, the geniuses in Washington who put ethanol on the shelf in the first place will move it right next to the whale oil. We'll be left with nothing but a corn farm after corn farm after corn farm built to support a fuel that was never meant to power anything but political campaigns. A country that prioritizes fuel over food is not just short-sighted and arrogant, it's doomed. Steve Erdman, he is the managing partner of New World Trading. Steve?
Hi, Glenn.
Can't feed our cows because the cow feed is too expensive.
That's right.
So we're killing them.
That's what they're doing.
That doesn't seem like smart long-term thinking here.
It isn't. It's going to be. It's going to come to bear in about probably 12 to 14 months, and the futures market's reflecting it.
Okay, we've got a couple of problems. It's not just ethanol. It's been bad for farming, bad crops all around the world. I don't know. Please verify this. I read that America, the world's breadbasket, is actually going to have to import wheat for the first time in our history.
There is a critical shortage in the world of coarse grain stocks in general, but the price of soft red winter wheat went up to $25 about 2 weeks ago. There's certain segments of the wheat market that are just going nuts.
Okay, so we've got bad crops around the world. Now we're burning our food for ethanol, but it's going to get much, much worse because how many ethanol plants are we now building?
I think in 2006 they had over 75 new plants. The margins for ethanol aren't as attractive as they were about a year ago, so that ethanol expansion has slowed. But we're going to grind probably 4.1 billion bushels of corn this year for ethanol production.
And real quick, beans, rice, cotton. I mean, let's look at the price of our cotton clothes. Cotton is going up as well because everybody's fighting for acreage now, right? There's not enough acreage for all of this
Absolutely.
stuff.
The only way the government can do anything to address it would be to release the conservation reserve acres that
No.
and I agree.
No, we wouldn't do that. Steve, thank you very much. Now,